President Akufo-Addo is commissioning 100 intercity STC buses belonging to the state transport company. He commissioned them earlier today at the start of his 3-day tour of the Greater Accra region. Well, the third day of his tour, I should say. The buses cost some $13 million, and they're part of measures to retool the state transporter. MD of STC, Nana Komia, says the border closure has cost his company 50% of its revenue. Elton Bobe is with the president and he joins us live. Elton, when we spoke earlier in the day, you told us that the president was entering Abossey-Okai to speak with the traders and artisans. What can you report from there, Elton?
Currently, I'm coming to you live from the Jamestown, where the president is just about addressing a member of the Ghana Traditional Authority. They are here in their numbers, and this particular program is very significant because of probably the disturbances we witnessed over the weekend between supporters of the NDC and the MPP. We'll get to this particular subject very shortly. But since you asked about what happened at Abossey-Okai, I can tell you that it was part of the working visit to the spare parts dealers. President Akufo-Addo himself was quite clear that he couldn't undertake a tour of the Greater Accra region without touching base with Abossey-Okai. So first, he had a meeting with their leadership in their office, after which he went on the streets to address hundreds of traders who came to listen to him. The Abossey-Okai spare parts dealers have some demands of the president. First, they want a police post within the enclave and also a health post. And then thirdly, they also want the government to, if possible, grant them access to an abandoned park, bare land, which they can use to park their vehicles whilst they work. But they were grateful to the president for suspending the custom amendment bill, which would have, banned the importation of salvage vehicles and also overage vehicles. So these were their demands and commendations to the president. President Akufo-Addo, promised to look into their demands. First, to see the possibility of the establishment of a police post and also a chips compound. And then secondly, we'll talk to the relevant authorities if the bare land they mentioned could be allocated to them so that they can park their vehicles. And then from Abossey-Okai, spare parts dealers, there was a drive through Jamestown, and then we ended up at the Jamestown Fishing Harbour, which is ongoing. It's under construction, 70% complete. The contractors say that they are hoping that they'll get their job and everything done by the end of next year. The whole project is costing government of Ghana $40 million, and it's funding coming from the Chinese government. When it is done, it will have a fishing harbour and a cold store. And then the catch here is that the fisher folks will have a place to store their catch, and then they can get it anytime they want. It will not go bad, and then they can improve their livelihood. Where we are now is the Jamestown, Gaba grounds. The pictures you are seeing behind me, the main days where President Akufo-Addo and his entourage are seated, and also opposite them is a representative from the Ghana Traditional Council. The program just got underway. We've gone past the exchange of pleasantries. We are now getting to the speeches. Now, my expectation, what I expect to hear is the President Akufo-Addo, if possible, talk about the disturbances over the weekend and the assurance going forward. But we are here to hear the MPP parliamentary candidate for this area, Dilante Banaman, is here. Remember that the last time the MPP won this seat was in 2000. Since then, the NDC has held on to it. Dilante Banaman is confident that he will be able to unseat Dilante Vanderpoel in the upcoming election. But the disturbances over the weekend is giving cause for concern. And we are all here, we are waiting to hear the words from the traditional authorities and then the president. And then we'll move into the other stops ahead of us.
Elton, let me leave you to pay attention to those speeches, because definitely we want to know what will be said, especially about what happened over the weekend Thank you very much, Elton Brobe. He's our presidential correspondent coming to us from Jamestown.